Hi students, in my previous lecture I have taught you the concept of goodwill, the importance of goodwill in partnership accounts and the areas where the valuation of goodwill comes into picture. And also we have discussed the various methods for the valuation of goodwill and calculated and also learned how to calculate goodwill under average profit method. So today, continuing with the same discussion, we will go through the other methods with regard to the valuation of goodwill. The other three methods: super profit method, annuity method, and capitalization of profit method. Speaking about these methods, there are some similarities. There are some similarities between these methods with regard to the ingredients required for calculation of goodwill. With regard to the ingredients required for the calculation of goodwill. So let us see that. There are four ingredients that is required for the calculation of goodwill under these methods. Speaking about the method, the ingredients, first of all, future maintainable profit or expected actual profit. Expected actual profit. This content is already dealt in the previous session. While calculating the goodwill under average profit method, goodwill is equal to future maintainable profit into number of years of purchase. So this concept is clear for all of you. And moving to the other concepts, other contents, expected normal profit. What is the expected normal profit? Capital employed, normal rate of return. So these contents have to be dealt in detail. Okay, so these are the four ingredients which is required for the calculation of goodwill, valuation of goodwill under super profit method, annuity method, capitalization of profit method. Repeating once again, there are four ingredients which is required for the calculation of goodwill or valuation of goodwill: future maintainable profit, expected normal profit, capital employed. Capital employed is called as net assets, and the normal rate of return. So let us discuss, before moving to the valuation of goodwill under these methods, let us discuss one by what is expected normal profit, what is capital employed or net asset, what is the normal rate of return. Okay, so first we will study these three contents because we already dealt with the future maintainable profit. We will study these three contents, and after that we will move to the methods the valuation of goodwill take place. Okay. In order to understand the concept of normal profit, we should be familiarized with the terms what is capital employed, what is normal rate of return. So before understanding the concept of normal profit, we should be familiarized with the terms what is capital employed, what is normal rate of return. That means all these terms are interrelated. Okay. Let us take an example before moving to the narration with regard to the normal profit. Let us take an example. For example, if I invest rupees 10 lakhs, if I invest rupees 10 lakhs in a bank as FD, fixed deposit, the banks provide the rate, for example 6%. Let's imagine the bank's rate for fixed deposit is 6%. This may be similar in all types of bank, whether it is SBI, whether it is South Indian Bank, whether it is Federal Bank. This rate will be almost same. Okay, there may be little bit different, but in the broad sense it will be almost same. So if SBI provides 6%, okay, if South Indian Bank provides 6.2%, okay, there will be different rate of return, and I choose that rate of return or that bank which gives me highest rate of return. That is my expected rate of return. So I invest in SIB, SBI 6%, SRA 6.5%. Then I will choose the South Indian Bank and invest 10 lakhs. Okay. So what is my return in real terms? 10 lakhs into, after an year, with 6.5%, I will get how much? 65,000. Per year I will get 65,000, which can be termed as interest. So I have 10 lakhs in my hand. I am decided to put or park my money in as fixed deposit in a bank. I analyze different rates given by different banks, and I choose a South Indian bank. I decide to put my money in South Indian bank, rupees 10 lakhs, and it will earn an interest of 6.5% per annum. After an year, I will get rupees 65,000. See, what is my investment? 10 lakhs. What is my investment? 10 lakhs. What is my expectation? Expectation by analyzing various alternatives, 6.5%. Okay. And what is my return? 65,000. Now, just connect this example to these terms. This is known as capital employed. This is known as capital. Rupees 10 lakhs which is invested in the bank is known as capital employed. Okay. Then this 6.5% is known as normal rate of return. This 6.5% is known as normal rate of return, and this 65,000 is known as the normal profit. So this is the relation. This is the relation between normal profit, capital employed, and normal rate of return. So what it means that capital employed is the amount invested by the person, and he expects a return. That is called as normal rate of return. It may differ from person to person. I choose SIB as 6.5%, some other person choose some other banks, because his expectation will be different. So I expect the return expected by me is called as normal rate of return, and the return earned by me is called as normal profit. So the return based on normal rate received by a person is known as normal profit based on his capital invested. This is what is called as normal profit, capital employed, and normal rate of return. So amount invested, capital employed. Expected return in percentage terms, normal rate of return. Expected return in real terms, monetary terms, is known as normal profit. So what is normal profit? Normal return expected from investment. It is the normal return expected from the investment. And what is normal rate of return? Expected rate of return on investment. It is the expected rate of return on investment, and it differ from person to person. It differ from investment to investment. Okay. For example, if I am parking my funds in an equity share in a business, okay, becoming a shareholder of a business, my expectation will not be 6.5% because the risk is high. As all you know, higher the risk, higher the rate of expectation in return. So my expectation will change. Okay. So based on investment, my normal rate of return will change. Okay. So to conclude, what is normal profit? Normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return. Capital employed into normal rate of return. That is what is called as normal profit, the expected profit by the investor. Then changing the term of capital employed into a business language. The given example is based on the investment in bank as a fixed deposit. So let us change our example into a business language. What is the capital employed in the business? The capital introduced by the businessman into the business. Okay. So if this is a balance sheet, here will be the capital introduced by the businessman. For example, 10 lakhs. This 10 lakhs will now represented by assets. Fixed asset, current assets, other investments, and also liabilities. So now this capital introduced in the business will be represented as assets and liabilities. So in a business language, what is capital employed? Means capital employed is equal to asset minus liabilities. That is the net investment amount. Asset minus liability. So capital employed in a business language is equal to asset minus liabilities. So changing this formula into a business language, now we will get normal profit is equal to net assets into normal rate of return. Net assets into normal rate of return. That will be the normal profit in a business language. And adding to that, there are investments which can be the purpose of which can be different. Fixed asset, investment in fixed asset is for the operation, for the existence of the business. Investment in current asset is for the day-to-day working. Okay, and other investment. This speaking about the other investment, there will be trading investment and non-trading investment. Trading investment and non-trading. Non-trading is not for the purpose of earning operating profit. It does not have any direct relation with the business profit. So, while calculating the net asset for the purpose of calculation of normal profit, repeating, while calculating net asset for the purpose of calculating normal profit, while valuing the goodwill from net asset, we will ignore non-trade investment. Non-trade investment. Okay, so repeating once again, while calculating capital employed for the purpose of computing normal profit in the process of valuation of goodwill, we will ignore the non-trade investment from the net asset. So, what is normal profit now? A net asset excluding non-trading investment into normal rate of return. Okay, repeating, normal profit is equal to net asset excluding non-trade investment into normal rate of return. So, this is all about the relationship between normal profit, capital employed, normal rate of return. So, concluding once again, what is capital employed? Amount invested in the business which is represented as net asset. We will exclude the non-trading investment. What is normal rate of return? The return expected by the investor in percentage terms. Okay. What is normal profit? Net asset excluding non-trading investment into normal rate of return. So this is the amount expected as return when I invest money in the business. Okay. So let us begin with what is super profit. What is super profit? Students, super profit represents the extra profit sacrificed. The extra profit sacrificed. What is the extra profit? The profit earned by the businessman due to his extra effort. Okay. So, super profit represents the extra profit sacrificed. And sacrificing an extra profit. What is the extra profit? The profit earned because of the extra effort given by the businessman. He is sacrificing. When he is sacrificing? Because of the takeover of the business, because of the amalgamation of business, because of the reconstitution of business, he is sacrificing the extra profit which is earned by his extra effort. That is known as super profit. So before moving to the concept of valuation of goodwill under super profit method, you should be familiarized or you should have an understanding what is the concept behind super profit. So what is super profit? The extra profit. The extra profit earned by the businessman due to his extra effort, and he is sacrificing due to the reconstitution or amalgamation or takeover. He is sacrificing that extra profit. He sacrifices giving up his extra effort, the result of his extra effort. This is termed as super profit, and based on the super profit, we will calculate we will value the goodwill. So, moving to an example, let us take two situations, situation 1 and situation 2. See, in situation 1, the capital employed, the amount invested in the business by the businessman is 10 lakhs. Okay. And his expected rate of return, normal rate of return is 10%. So what is his normal profit? His expected profit from the business, normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return, that is 1 lakh. Now, the future maintained profit, what he expects had he continued with the business. We already discussed the term future maintained profit. In other words, we can say it as expected actual profit. Expected actual future profit. So, as per his expectation, if had the business continued to exist for a long period, for n number of years, he would have earned rupees 1,20,000 per year. He would have earned 1,20,000 per year. That means, if his business is reconstituted or taken over, he is losing rupees 20,000, an extra profit. That is what is called as super profit. That is what is called as super profit. So what is super profit? The difference between the expected actual profit had the business continued, okay, minus the normal profit. So what is super profit? Super profit is equal to future maintainable profit minus normal profit. Future maintainable profit minus normal profit. The difference between future maintainable profit and normal profit is called as super profit, which is sacrificed, the extra profit sacrificed by the businessman. So repeating with the example or situation 1, the capital employed is 10 lakhs, the normal rate of return is 10%, normal profit is 1 lakh. So analyzing the future maintainable profit, it is 1,20,000. So had the business continued, he would have earned an extra 20,000. That is losing now. So the super profit is equal to 20,000 for the valuation of goodwill. Moving to the second situation. The same contents, capital employed 10 lakhs. Okay, capital employed 10 lakhs. Then the normal rate of return is 10%. So what is the normal profit? 1 lakh. Now see, the future maintained profit is 80,000. So had he continued with the business, he would have earned only 80,000. His initial expectation was rupees 1 lakh, but he would have earned only 80,000. So there is no extra profit. There will be a negative figure of 20,000. That means that no super profit, no goodwill. No super profit, no goodwill. So remember, when there is only super profit, there is a concept of valuation of goodwill. If there is no super profit, no concept of valuation of goodwill. So what is super profit? It is the difference between the future maintainable profit and normal profit. If it is positive figure, there will be the calculation of goodwill. If it is negative, there is no chances of valuation of goodwill. Then how we will calculate the value goodwill under super profit method? Under super profit method, goodwill is equal to super profit into number of years purchase. Goodwill is equal to super profit into number of years purchase. In average profit method, what is goodwill? What is the value of goodwill? Future maintainable profit into number of years purchase. In the same sense, here also the super profit, only we are not considering the future maintainable profit. We are considering the difference between future maintainable profit and the normal expected profit. That is what is called as super profit into number of years purchase. So take an example. The capital employed, example 1, capital employed is rupees 10 lakhs and the normal rate of return is 10%. Future maintainable profit is 1,25,000 and the number of years purchase is 3 years. So let's calculate the goodwill. Let's value the goodwill. We should know what is the future maintainable profit, which is given in the question as rupees 1,25,000. Okay, rupees 1,25,000. Then what is the normal profit? What is the normal profit? Normal profit is equal to, we know, capital employed into normal rate of return. Capital employed into normal rate of return. 10 lakhs into 10%, we will get rupees 1 lakh. Okay, so what is the super profit? Super profit is equal to rupees 25,000. So we have arrived at the super profit. Now what is goodwill? Goodwill is equal to super profit into number of years purchase. Number of years purchase. Therefore 25,000 into 3, we will get rupees 75,000. This is how we will derive at the value of the goodwill under super profit method. Super profit into number of years purchase. Moving into example 2. In the example 2, a balance sheet is given in the question and also the profit for the last 4 years given. And the balance sheet speaks as the fixed asset as rupees 30 lakhs. The rupees is represented in lakhs, 30 lakhs. The current asset is rupees 20 lakhs. So fixed asset 30 lakhs, current asset 20 lakhs, total asset 50 lakhs. Okay. Then the capital invested 20 lakhs and the liabilities 30 lakhs, total 50 lakhs. So a balance sheet is given in the question and the question states that the normal rate of return, the expected rate of return is 10%. The expected rate of return is 10%. So from balance sheet, we can calculate the capital employed and into the normal rate of return is equal to, we will get the normal profit. Then the profit for the last 4 years are given. Why this profit is given in the question? In order to calculate the future maintainable profit. What is future maintainable profit? It is calculated based on the average profit of the past few years, add or less the expectations. Okay. So for the last 4 years, 2000 from 2016 to 2019. In 2016 it is 6 lakhs. In 2017, 5,50,000, 2018, 5,50,000, 2019, 7 lakhs. So these profits are required for the calculation of future maintainable profit. Okay. And the question is asked to calculate the goodwill for 3 years purchase. For 3 years purchase. So let us analyze how this problem can be solved. So what is the first step? The calculation of future maintainable profit. So step 1 is the calculation of future maintainable profit. For the purpose of calculating future maintainable profit, we should critically examine the contents given in the question. Okay. What are the contents given? The profit for the last 4 years is given. While calculating the average profit, which average is to be considered? Whether the average profit is calculated based on the simple average method or weighted average method. The question, the trend of profit given in the question is neither an increasing or decreasing trend. There is a variation. First, in the first year, 2016, 6 lakhs, then downward trend, then the same profit, then an upward trend. So there is a change in trend. So we can apply the simple average method to calculate the super profit. So how we will calculate the average profit? Average profit. Okay, under simple average method. 6 lakhs plus 5,50,000, 5,50,000. So 17 lakhs plus 7 lakhs, 24 lakhs. So 24 lakhs divided to 4, we will get 6 lakh. So 6 lakhs is the future maintainable profit. Since the future expectations, the future expected income or expenses are not given in the question, this average profit itself can be considered as the future maintainable profit as per this question. Okay. Then the second calculation, step 2, the normal profit, calculation of the normal profit. So step 2 is the calculation of normal profit. How we will calculate normal profit? Capital employed into normal rate of return. So normal rate of return is given in the question as 10%. Then how we will arrive at the capital employed? Capital employed is equal to asset minus liability, net asset, and we should ignore the non-trade investment. So there is fixed asset 30 lakhs, there is current asset 20 lakhs, and the balance sheet side, the asset side of the balance sheet does not speak about the non-trade investment. So we can take this 50 lakhs as such as total assets minus liabilities. These liabilities may be current or non-current, okay, long term or short term. So 50 lakhs minus 30 lakhs, how much we will get? 20 lakhs. So 20 lakhs is the capital employed. So capital employed is equal to 50 lakhs minus 30 lakhs. We will get rupees 20 lakhs. Then normal rate of return is how much? 10%. Therefore normal profit is equal to 20 lakhs into 10%. We will get 2 lakhs. So future maintainable profit, the expected profit had the business continued to exist 6 lakhs. What is his normal expectation? 2 lakhs. So he could have earned rupees 4 lakhs as an extra profit. So step 3, super profit is equal to future maintainable profit minus normal profit. We will get rupees 4 lakhs. So rupees 4 lakhs is the super profit. So what is the goodwill? So step 4, goodwill is equal to 4 lakhs into 3 years purchase. Therefore rupees 12 lakhs. This is what is called as calculation of goodwill under super profit method. So move to the next question based on certain other adjustments. Let us critically analyze the third example. In the third example, the balance sheet states that the capital is 20 lakhs and liability is 30 lakhs. Rupees are represented in lakhs. Okay. Fixed asset 30 lakhs. Trade investment 10 lakhs and non-trade investment. Unlike in the previous problem, in the current example, the investment is segregated as trade and non-trade investment. So non-trade investment 10 lakhs and total 50 lakhs in the asset side. The normal rate of return is 10%. So what is the normal profit? How we arrive at the normal profit? While calculate the capital employed, total asset excluding the non-trade investment. So 50 lakhs excluding non-trade 10 lakhs. So we will get 40 lakhs. That is fixed asset plus trade investment. 40 lakhs minus 30 lakhs the liabilities. So we will get 10 lakhs as capital employed, and the normal rate of return is 10%. So 10 lakhs into 10%, rupees 1 lakh. That will be the normal profit expected by the investor. And continuing with the question, profit for the last 4 years. In 2016, 6 lakhs, 2017, 5 lakh 50,000, 2018, 5 lakh 50,000, 2019, 7 lakhs. Okay. Again, there is variation, the trend shown by the profit. So we will apply simple average method for the calculation of the average profit. And there are some other adjustments given for the purpose of arriving at the future maintainable profit. The expected income in the future 6 lakhs per year, expected expenses rupees 1 lakh per year, and income on non-trade investment 10%. Income on non-trade investment 10%. While calculating the normal profit, we are ignoring the non-trade investment because it has no impact on the profit earned by the operating profit earned by the business. So, in the same way, in the same path, we will ignore the income on such non-trade investment while calculating the future maintainable profit. Okay, while calculating the future maintainable profit. So, we have to exclude what? The income on the non-trade investment. So, in this way, we have to calculate the future maintainable profit. So, let us discuss how to calculate the future maintainable profit after considering these adjustments. So, step 1, computation of future maintainable profit. First, we have to arrive at the average profit. While arriving at the average profit, there should be a consideration whether this 6 lakhs, 5 lakh 50,000, 5 lakh 50,000, 7 lakhs includes this income on non-trade investment. Whether includes the income on non-trade investment. Of course, it might have included. It might have included. So therefore, we have to deduct. We have to deduct this 1 lakh from all these profit. So 6 lakhs minus 1 lakh, we will get 5 lakh. 5 lakh 50,000 minus 1 lakh, we will get 4 lakh 50,000. 5 lakh 50,000 minus 1 lakh, we will get 4 lakh 50,000. 7 lakh minus 1 lakh, we will get 6 lakhs. So what is the average profit? Corrected profit after adjustment of non-trade income on non-trade investment. Income on non-trade investment in 2016, 6 lakhs minus 1 lakh, we will get 5 lakh. In 2017, 5 lakh 50,000 minus 1 lakh, we will get 4 lakh 50,000. Okay. In 2018, 4 lakh 50,000. In 2019, 7 lakh minus 1 lakh, we will get 6 lakhs. Okay. So what is the total for 4 lakh 50, 4 lakh 50, 9 lakh plus 6 lakhs? 9 lakh plus 15 lakhs plus 5 lakhs, 20 lakhs. So 20 lakhs is the total profit. And what is the average profit? 20 lakhs divided to 4 years, we will get 5 lakhs. So 5 lakhs is the average profit for the last 4 years after ignoring the income on the non-trade investment. So students, please consider while we calculating the capital employed, we are ignoring the non-trade investment. In the same way, while calculating the future maintainable profit, from the given profit, we have to deduct the income on such non-trade investment before arriving the average profit. Now, what is the average profit? 5 lakhs. This 5 lakhs is exclusive of the income on the non-trade investment. Then we have to adjust the expected income and expenses. What is the expected income? 6 lakhs. What is the expected income? 6 lakh. Expected expenses 1 lakh. So 6 lakhs. 5 lakh plus 6 lakhs minus 1 lakh, we will get 10 lakhs. rupees 10 lakhs will be the future maintainable profit. Will be the future maintainable profit. Had the business continued to exist, we would have earned rupees 10 lakh in the future. So in this question, how we have arrived at the future maintainable profit? We considered the profit given for the last few years. We applied a simple average method. Before applying the simple average method, we ignored the income on non-trade investment. Since for the purpose of calculation of normal profit, we are not considering the non-trade investment in the capital employed. In the same way, we have ignored the income on such non-trade investment while calculating the future maintainable profit. Then we arrived at rupees 20 lakhs divided to 4 years, rupees 5 lakhs. The expected income is added, the expected expense is deducted, and we will arrive at the future maintainable profit as rupees 10 lakhs. Now, what is the normal profit? We have already calculated the normal profit. 50 lakhs. From 50 lakhs we deducted 10 lakhs, we will get 40 lakhs. 40 lakhs minus 30 lakhs. 10 lakhs into 10%, that is rupees 1 lakh. So what is the normal profit? Normal profit is equal to 10 lakhs into 10%, we will get rupees 1 lakh. That means there are excess of 9 lakhs in the super profit. So what is the super profit? Super profit is equal to future maintainable profit minus normal profit, that is rupees 9 lakh. 10 lakh minus 1 lakh, 9 lakh. So goodwill is equal to super profit into number of years purchase. So 9 lakhs into 3, we will get rupees 27 lakhs as goodwill. Okay, so please note, while calculating super profit, we have to arrive at the future maintainable profit. While calculating the future maintainable profit, we should consider whether the profit given in the question includes the income on non-trade investment. So this is all about, we have dealt with 3 examples. This is all about the valuation of goodwill under super profit method. So we will move on to the annuity method and capitalization of profit method, which include the same contents as well. So we will upgrade our knowledge of calculation of goodwill while learning the concepts under annuity method and capitalization of profit method. Under capitalization of profit method, we are capitalizing the profit. The given profit is capitalized. How we can capitalize the profit? We already know normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return. Normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return. From this, we can compute the capital employed. Capital employed is equal to normal profit divided to normal rate of return. This process is called capitalization of profit. We are converting the profit into a capitalized value. So, while discussing the valuation of goodwill under capitalization of profit method, we are capitalizing the profit into the profit. We are capitalizing the profit and comparing with the actual capitalized value. To make it clear, under this method, goodwill is equal to expected capital employed based on future maintainable profit. Expected capital employed based on future maintainable profit. Had the business continued to exist for n number of years, that profit is called as future maintainable profit. Okay, this future maintainable profit is capitalized, converted as capital employed, and is compared with the actual capital employed. Actual capital employed means the capital employed given in the book value in the balance sheet. So, what is the concept of goodwill under capitalization of profit method? Here the goodwill is calculated by comparing the expected capital employed based on the future maintainable profit by comparing with the actual capital employed. Actual capital employed means the capital employed or the net assets given in the balance sheet, given in the question, given in the balance sheet. This capital employed is compared with the expected capital employed on the future maintainable profit. Then how we will arrive at the expected capital employed? We already seen capital employed is equal to normal profit divided to normal rate of return. we'll substitute this normal profit as future maintainable profit divided to normal rate of return. We will get expected capital employed based on the future maintainable profit. And from this, the actual capital employed given in the balance sheet will be deducted. The difference is treated as goodwill. So to conclude, what is goodwill under capitalization of profit method? First, calculate the future maintainable profit, the expected profit had the business continued. Then convert the future maintainable profit into a capitalized value. What it is called? Capitalized value. Future maintainable profit divided to normal rate of return. We will convert the profit into a capitalized value, which is called as expected capital employed on future maintainable profit. This is the capital employed or capital net asset expected by the organization had the business continued forever. Okay, in the future. Okay, then the actual capital employed is deducted, compiled. The difference, if it is positive figure, that means if the expected is higher than the actual, the difference is termed as goodwill. So let us look into a situation again. Situation 1, situation 2. To have a clarity in your understanding. So future maintainable profit rupees 1 lakhs. Normal rate of return 10%. So what is the capitalized value? Future maintainable profit divided to normal rate of return. We will get 1 lakh divided to 10%. We will get 10 lakhs. This is the capitalized value, expected capital employed based on the future maintained profit. Okay, what is the actual capitalized value? Actual capital employed 8 lakhs. The difference is 2 lakh, which means that had the business continued, the capital employed would have been raised from 8 lakhs to 2 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and the difference 2 lakh can be stated as goodwill. Moving to the second situation, taking the same example, FMB 1 lakhs, normal rate of return 10%, we will get the capitalized value 10 lakhs. The actual capital employed is 12 lakhs. That means the actual value is more than the expected. There will be a negative figure of rupees 2 lakh. That means that there is no concept of goodwill. There is no concept of goodwill. So when the concept of goodwill arises under capitalization of profit method, when the expected capital employed is greater than the actual capital employed. So this is all about the capitalization of profit method. Repeating once again, what are the contents to be calculated while valuing the goodwill as per the capitalization of profit method? First, take the FMP, calculate the FMP as usual, the method we apply. And secondly, convert the FMP into capitalized value. FMP divided to normal rate of return, we will get the expected capitalized value. Compare with the actual capitalized value as given in the balance sheet. Okay. Then from that, if it is a positive figure, we will get that the difference can be treated as goodwill. If it is negative figure, there is no concept of goodwill. So this is all about the valuation of goodwill under capitalization of profit method. Talking about the annuity method. Even though it is an extension of super profit method, a new concept is applied which is called as present value concept or time value of money concept. Okay, so this concept, the method is similar to, not similar to, it is almost a super profit method, but in addition to that, a different concept is applied by calculating the goodwill, which is called as present value or time value of money concept. So it is an extension of super profit method. Here goodwill is equal to under super profit method, goodwill is equal to super profit into number of years purchase. But under annuity method, goodwill is equal to super profit into present value factor for number of years purchase. Okay, super profit into present value factor for number of years purchase. Then how we will calculate the present value factor? It is also called as annuity factor. So there is an annuity table from where we can get the present value annuity factor for number of years purchase. If we look into that table, if the number of years purchase is 3, okay, then we will get the 3 years. For the 3 years, what is the annuity factor? Okay, So this is the annuity factor concept, the super profit into annuity factor for the number of years purchase. There is also a formula for computing the annuity factor. We will discuss on that also. So what is the goodwill under annuity method? Super profit into present value factor for number of years purchase. So let us move into an example. You will also study how to calculate the annuity factor irrespective of you own any annuity table or not. Okay. Let us take an example to understand the concept of annuity. The calculation of goodwill under annuity method. So let us take an example. The super profit is given as 30,000. Number of years purchased 3 years and the discount rate is 10%. So what is discount rate? Discount rate is used for the calculation of the annuity factor or the present value factor. I already explained that there is a present value table is available. From that we can arrive at the present value factor, and there is also a formula. So while calculating the present value factor using the formula, we require 10% as the discount rate. Okay, and I have taken the discount rate as 10%. Then moving into the application, if the method was super profit method, it is simple to calculate the goodwill as 30,000 into 3. We will get 90,000 as the goodwill under super profit method. But annuity method little bit different. We should convert the super profit into a present value factor. So what is present value? Present value means the value that can be considered today for the future amount. If I am earning 1 lakh after 1 year, what is the amount equal to that 1 lakh now? That is called as present value. If I am earning 2 lakhs after 2 years, what is the equivalent amount of 2 lakhs now? Okay, so we are converting the future value into the present value. That is the concept of application of time value of money concept of present value concept. The process is also called as discounting of the future value. We are discounting the future value into the current period. So that is had to be done here. The example says that if the business had continued, the businessman would have earned 30,000 in the near future after 1 year, after 2 years, another 30,000, after 3 years, another 30,000. So, applying annuity method, we should convert the future 30,000 into today's amount by using the present value factor. For the calculation of the present value factor, you can use the formula. Present value factor is equal to, we call it as PV factor. Okay, present value factor is equal to 1 divided to 1 plus R whole raised to n. 1 divided to 1 plus R whole raised to n. R represents the discount rate. Here it is 10%. N is equal to number of years. So for the first year, what will be the discount factor? First year, 1 divided to 1 plus R. R is 10%. A percent 10 divided to 100, which means 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1 divided to 1. Okay. Then for the second year, 1 divided to 1 plus 0.1 whole raised to 2. This is whole raised to 1. This is whole raised to 2. For the third year, 1 divided to 1 plus 0.1 whole raised to 3. So this is how we will arrive at the present value factor. For the sake of explanation, for the sake of your understanding, for reducing the consumption of my time, I have already given in the question. It has 0.9090 for the first year. Take a calculator, apply this formula, you will get 0.9090 for the first year, 0.8264 for the second year, 0.7513 for the third year. So, after arriving at the present value factor, compute the discounted super profit. Discounted super profit means super profit into the present value factor. 30,000 into 0.9090, you will get 27,270. 30,000 into 0.8264, you will get 24,792. 30,000 into 0.7513, you will get 22,539. The total of all this will be 74,601, which is called as the goodwill under annuity method. This is how we will calculate the goodwill under annuity method. As per the super profit method, simple calculation was 30,000 into 3, 90,000. Okay. By applying the present value factor, it is converted into 74,601. So this is the way we'll calculate the super goodwill under annuity method, and there are two alternative ways for computation. Without applying any table or tabular presentation, we can use a simple method. See how we can arrive at the simple method. Get the total of this 0.9090 plus 0.8264 plus 0.7513. Yes, 7, 9, 6, 15, 60, then 138, then 17, 4, 2.4867. That is the total, sum total of the PV factor. Just apply 30,000. This is common. Okay, so 30,000 into 2.4867. Then also you will get 74,601. 74,601. So since all the figures for each year is same, okay, take the common as 30,000 into, just add take the sum of the present value factor, you will get 2.4867. 30,000 into 2.4867, 74,601. Then how we will calculate this factor? This is called as annuity factor for 3 years at the rate of 10%. How we will represent 2.4867? This is the annuity factor for 3 years at the rate of 10%. So it means that if the rate is 20%, this figure will not be arrived. A different figure we will get a different figure. Okay. So this is the figure representing for 3 years at the rate of 10%. Then how it is to be calculated? Annuity factor is equal to 1 minus 1 divided to 1 plus r whole raised to n. Listen, 1 minus 1 divided to 1 plus r whole raised to n whole divided to r. Whole divided to r. R means the discount rate. Repeating once again, annuity factor is equal to 1 minus 1 divided to 1 plus r means 0.1. Whole raised to n means 3 years. We are considering all the years. 3 years divided to r, that is 0.1. We will get the annuity factor, and 30,000 into this annuity factor for 3 years at the rate of 10%, we will get 74,601. This is a simple method for calculation of goodwill under annuity method. So repeating once again, under annuity method, unlike the super profit method, a simple calculation of super profit into number of years purchase is not sufficient. We have to convert the super profit of each year. We have to discount the super profit of each year based on the present value concept. You based it on the present value factor. How we will arrive at the present value factor? 1 divided to 1 plus r whole raised to n. We will get the present value factor of each year. Super profit into present value factor of each year. We will get the discounted super profit. Compute the sum of the discounted super profit. We will get the goodwill. Concept of valuation of goodwill. And to use it in a simple way, super profit of each year. Take it as a common. If the same, if the figures are same, take the super profit common for the years into annuity factor. How the annuity factor can be arrived at? 1 minus 1 divided to 1 plus r whole raised to n whole divided to r. So this is all about the annuity method for the valuation of goodwill. So to have a conclusion, we have already gone through the different methods. We have learned the different methods of valuation of goodwill. We started with average profit method, then super profit method, then capitalization of profit method, then annuity method. So students, for the purpose of examination, if it is a CA foundation examination, there will be a separate question for calculation of goodwill. If in the case of a CMA intermediate or CA intermediate examination, these calculations we come across these calculations during the process of admission or retirement or death. The separate questions will not be there. But for the purpose of CA foundation, the students of CA foundation has to calculate it separately, because the separate questions will be asked for the calculation of goodwill. So this is all about the valuation of goodwill. In my next class, I will deal with the adjustment of goodwill during the process of admission, retirement, death, the journal entries, and how will affect the partners' accounts, capital account, current account, etc. So thank you so much.